So my lock screen and background are of the character Entrapta from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So
Yay!
Nice.
that's why I have a purple case.
Makes perfect sense.
You have to at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've made the background look like if it's you're talking to her on your tracker pad. So, you know,
Ah,
Very cool.
because I'm a nerd.
we love it.
Okay, for some reason, I think the sound might be working now. But for some reason, it's playing out of my computer laptop speakers very softly instead of my headphones, and it shouldn't be. And I don't know why it's doing that.
I blame poltergeists.
You always blame poltergeists.
That's because they're bastards.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand at all how that's even possible.
Well, clearly the answer is to run out real fast and get a new one.
Sorry, I muted everybody for a second. What did you say?
Oh, no, nothing of importance. I can tell you that. Just filling space with hot air.
That shouldn't make a difference. Okay, USB audio codec, going to the volume meter, going to black hole. Zoom, going to the volume, going to black hole. OBS, volume, black hole. Zoom is set, input and output are both set to black hole. So you can hear me, you can hear each other, and you can hear OBS. The recording is not running yet. That's going through. The broadcast through Dementia Radio is not going yet. And then the output is going to my headphones. It's exactly the same as what it's been for the past several years. OBS plus 3 other inputs to outputs. There's no
It could
other...
be the curse.
Yeah, probably is the curse.
Yeah. Josh and I once shared a cursed hoagie, and it's caused problems ever since.
Every time. I still have acid reflux. That might be all my other poor choices, though.
Do me a favor. You guys keep talking. I want to see if I can figure out why the sound is coming out of somewhere else.
Sure.
Well, talking about nothing is what we're good at.
And we stopped. Yeah, it's a funny time.
Do we sound balanced out there to you, Tom? Because to us, we're like the three bears here, where audio, like level wise, Luke is the Papa Bear. He's super hot, and then we're kind of the Mama Bear. We're right in the middle.
Yeah.
And Tom, you're the little baby bear because you're the quietest.
I could definitely turn myself down over here.
We're fine either way, as long as it sounds all right to the recording.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, figured out why the playback was at least going through. Okay, so now I don't hear myself, which is interesting.
We hear you.
Are you loud and clear, Captain?
And I can't hear any of you either. All right. Oh, it helps if I turn the headphones up. Yeah, that's right.
I was going to say, what if he went deaf just now? We just witnessed it.
It is the curse, Toby.
I can't hear any of you and I know sign language.
I do know sign language, but
Oh, do you?
Oh, there you go. You're perfectly prepared for going deaf.
I mean, I'm out of practice, but all right.
How do I sound now?
That's it's a bit more balanced there.
Okay.
Return that. Yeah, this is just.
Yeah, Kyle and Lindsay were on Steve Goody's virtual comedy show, and they wanted to do their set from here because it was easier than doing it from their place. And I know I adjusted some of the sound levels for them, so that might have been why I was suddenly so much louder.
Hey, we didn't mind. We don't mind you being the Papa Bear.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play the first song. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
It may sound weird over Zoom. Okay, it's apparently working, but it's soft. And I don't know why it's soft.
We've heard that a few times.
So I guess we're going to have to go with it, and I will figure it out later.
All right.
All right. So we're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Dementia Radio now. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Toby Danger in the house.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. We may or may not have Paul Wensley joining us. I don't know if he's available. Welcome to the Technical Difficulties Podcast. We've been dicking around with my audio settings for the past 20 minutes, trying to figure out why nothing was working. And now it's sort of working. We can hear each other, and I think it's recording okay, but the Zoom feed or the Twitch feed is a little soft, and we don't know why. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Wildcard saying Luke could be a little louder. All right. So welcome to what the hell? Where's the thing there? Welcome to episode 725 of the Funny Music Podcast. Title of this week's episode is Lonely Cover. And your job is to work that into our conversations this week somehow. And let's see if we can get through this without too many more technical difficulties, shall we? Let's do this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke failed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, on Saturday, May the 4th, Kalani and I went to Star Wars, or we went to Disneyland because of Star Wars, because it was, May the 4th be with you and all of that jazz. Just went there, had some fun. I got, and they had an official T-shirt for May the 4th that has an illustration of R2-D2 and C-3PO on it, drawn the way they looked more or less on the Droids cartoon show back in the 80s, slightly also based on probably the animated portion of the Star Wars Christmas holiday special that came out way back when. So it's an interesting looking design for that. Yeah, that was fun. And then on Sunday, I recorded. Kalani came over to my place, and then Tony Goldmark and his girlfriend Kit came over, and we recorded a couple episodes of the Escape from Vault Disney podcast, which probably won't be out until July or something like that. because Tony has a bunch of other episodes already backed up he needs to put out first. But
including the one I'm on.
What?
Including the one I'm on, which should be the next one to drop in the feed.
There's one that Kyle is on as well that ended up not making it out yet. So that'll be fun when that eventually comes out. Also, last night I went to the Improv on Melrose in Hollywood because the Netflix is a Joke Festival is happening right now, and there's tons of different types of comedy shows happening all over the city. And in the main room of the Improv, they had Wolves of Glendale performing, so I got to see them perform live.
Nice.
And I hadn't been paying attention to the social media feeds, but so it was a surprise to me to find out that the two opening comedians for them were Reggie Watts and Melissa Villasenor. So that was cool to see them as well. But yeah, the Wolves did an awesome show, and just like, every song that's been, of theirs that's been played on Dr. Demento in the past couple of years, they did live, and they had one song that hasn't been released yet. So yeah, I highly recommend going to see them if they're in town, and they are out on tour now. So, check out their social media and website and stuff to see about all that. So yeah, what have you been up to, Devo Spice?
Well, last weekend was the Fourth Wall Film Festival, which was a local festival. It takes place over here in Sparta, about 15 minutes away. And my film, Talk to the Hand, was screened there. And there were a bunch of films being screened there starring people that I knew from my acting class. A couple even directed by people in my acting class. So I wanted to go for as much as I possibly could, but I was only able to go for like half of Saturday. And on Sunday, I had to go to my son's end of the year swim banquet because it's his last time doing swim with the Y. So had to go. So I was able to leave early enough to get to the film festival to see my film screened, which was always fun. It's great here, seeing it in front of a fresh audience who's never seen it before. Also, I performed on Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel's virtual comedy show on Monday, and they asked me on Saturday if I was available on Monday. So this was a very last-minute thing. I don't know if I was filling in for somebody else or what the story was, but we also had technical difficulties with my sound on that show. But that was Zoom's fault, because Zoom has this original sound for musicians thing up here. And you know what? I'm going to turn it on. And I don't know if that's going to make any difference, but it shouldn't make a difference. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm not performing, so I can leave that off. So, yeah, so I did, because I had just recently released my album of covers called Cover Up, I decided to do some cover songs. So I did, I started with New Math, and then I wanted to make sure that wasn't a lonely cover.
Hey.
So I did, Words That Sound Dirty But Aren't, or Ain't, which is a Steve Goodie song. And he said after I finished the song that he was like, I didn't recognize that at first. And I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. Who wrote that? And he was like, oh yeah, that's one of mine. So that was fun. I just posted the video of Words That Sound Dirty But Ain't to my Facebook page and my Instagram page, so you can see them there. The entire show is up on Brad Tassel's YouTube channel, so you can find it there. So, Toby Danger, what have you guys been up to?
Oh, so much. Mostly being overweight.
Yeah.
I think I developed hemorrhoids recently. And we've also been working on a new EP that is going to come out later this year.
Yeah. We rolled out a fourth member. He hasn't been on stage yet, but our buddy Chris is in the band now. And that means that has freed Ryan up to start rocking a little bit of guitar, which you're going to start seeing at Toby Danger shows real soon. We're excited about that.
Nice. So the new guy plays guitar?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Utility guitarist. I will be switching back and forth between lead guitar and tickling the ivory, so to speak, although the keys on my guitar are black, not ivory.
Yeah.
I've seen those keyboards where everything is all black. Why do they do that?
I don't know. It's actually I'd prefer them to be white, and I could have bought them in white, but this one was on sale, so I got this one.
It's pure cool factor, and what they don't realize is that there's plenty of cool on a Toby Danger stage.
Yeah, you don't need the extra cool factor.
Obviously.
I think they just wanted to make it harder to play because you can't look at the keys and figure out where your fingers are supposed to go.
Precisely. I've been definitely working on channeling my inner Stevie Wonder, getting our set down.
We've actually been recording in the pitch dark just to make sure he's ready. It hasn't gone well.
I can imagine. So, you posted a song. Give us a quick intro to the song and we'll give it a listen.
So this song is a song based on a thought that we had, which is, what would happen if one of our 80s heroes, the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme, were basically the car from Knight Rider, and then someone made an 80s cartoon based on it, and we wrote the theme song for it.
Yes.
All right, here is Jean-Claude Trans Am by Toby Danger.
Shots for promotional stills. He was making a comeback, gotta get it right. So he jumped in his Trans Am and drove off in the night. Well, it started a form of a mysterious storm. Though the lightning crashed, he just wouldn't turn back. He was struck in the tailpipe, got all rearranged. He was bit by a viper and he started to change. We're talking man and machine, blood and gasoline. Now he's changing his fate with a turbo D8. Jean-Claude Trans Am, have a car, have a wanted man. White walls, big road, kicking butt in Amsterdam. Jean-Claude Trans Am, never find him in a traffic jam. Peeling out talent scouts, taking selfies for his Instagram. Jean-Claude Trans Am. Well, he skied to a halt, burning up the asphalt. He was quicker than thunder, you know he couldn't be caught. From bumper to bumper, he was looking good. Fire red with the leather, a monster under the hood. And the Hollywood press, well, they got obsessed. He was in every tabloid, never failed to impress. The calls started coming, and he's back in the light. Now it's movies by day and crime fighting at night. Don't need no limousine, oil slicks and smoke screens, some fuzzy dice up in front. He even does his own stunts. Jean-Claude Trans Am is on the speed dial of the Uncle Sam. Hot runs, big guns, not afraid to have to kill a man. Jean-Claude Trans Am, a wild side and a well-laid plan. Doing splits, getting lit, evil doers, you don't stand a chance. Jean-Claude Trans Am. crime. A second chance, a new lease on life. Jean-Claude Trans Am.
So, I don't know how much money you guys have, but you need to hire somebody to make an animated like video to go with this, so it looks like the intro to an 80s cartoon. And it needs to have like the crappy 80s animation with, you know, the really stiff running and stuff.
Do you guys remember James Bond Jr.?
Yes.
The cartoon?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I see in my head is the James Bond Jr. cartoon.
Perfect. Exactly. That's
If
what
only
we
we
need.
knew some animators, am I right?
It's crazy.
If only you had some money.
Animators
right?
don't exist anymore. Everything's done with AI.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get as good results with AI. The problem is all the animators we know deserve to eat, and paying them is hard.
Yeah, paying them is hard. I've found that out. Even when I tried to pay them, sometimes it doesn't work. I've been trying to do this animated music video for the FuMP for like a year now, and I think I've gone through 2 different animators online, and who've both just bailed on the project. And I was like, one of them I paid and then got a refund, and then the other one I never had a chance to pay, and it was just so. Anyway,
That's lame. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, we need more animation.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love cartoons.
So yeah, so tell us about this song.
Well, precisely as we described, we were sitting around one night talking about, I think specifically the cartoon James Bond Jr. and what a badass intro that had. And we were just like, man, you know, they just don't make intros anymore like 80s animated theme songs for all of our favorite action cartoons. So we started to just kind of imagining what would it be like if we did one of our own. And we were like, it would have to be the most badass thing we could think of. We were like, what if it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme doing splits between a couple of Trans Ams, and there's explosions, and we're like, no, wait, what if Jean-Claude was the Trans Am? His soul somehow was intermingled with the automobile, and he fights crime as a car.
The only thing that was left to do was pick up our guitars and figure it out.
And a fun fact about that recording, I actually did that guitar solo with my nipples day of.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing.
2 takes, but we got it done.
Well,
Nice.
1 per nip. That's
Yeah.
how you do that.
I don't know how this show wasn't picked up to begin with. I mean, it's such a brilliant idea. I'm surprised. Like, have you seen some other these 80s cartoons? They're far more ridiculous than that premise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would fit in perfectly. It really is on our bucket list to like write a theme song for a cartoon or a kids show or something. That is absolutely something we want to do one day.
Okay. But I think you need to pitch this to somebody in Netflix or somewhere. I don't even know who would do it.
Can you just call the front desk and get a hold of somebody?
Yeah, I think that's
Netflix?
how that works.
Maybe it's on the login screen. There's a link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the song reminds me of is there was a truly nightmare fuel concept of a cartoon called Turbo Teen. And the premise of Turbo Teen was that he was a human teenager, but then something would trigger him and his human body would literally like morph into a car, and like it was just so disturbing. It was like his hands would like weirdly become the tires, and his face would like slowly start to become wide, so it became like the grill of the car. And it's like I know it only ran for like 1 season, but it was like it was such a nightmare fuel idea of a concept. So that's because when it was like Jean-Claude Trans Am, it's like, well, that it's Turbo Teen, but it's, you know, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's just what this song made me think.
That is exactly what we had in our heads.
Yes. As soon as you said Turbo Teen, by the way, we pulled up a picture of it, and it is terrifying.
Yeah, I did too. I vaguely remember that existing, and I can picture the pitch meeting now for, whatever network that was on. It was like, hey, kids like Transformers. Transformers are popular. Let's make one with a human. So it's a car, and then it's a kid. Yeah!
He looks like when the credits roll, it's just like a shot of an exterior of a garage, and you just hear a mechanical screaming of someone begging for death. Terrifying.
Yeah, they definitely need to have an episode where he just sits down and explains how it feels to transform into a car.
Yeah.
Well, my bones break, and then my coccyx becomes the exhaust pipe, and my teeth become the grill. It's horrifying.
I'm pretty sure that Robot Chicken did a sketch about Turbo Teen where he turns into the car for whatever reason, and then a couple other random teenagers find the car, climb inside of it, and start having sex inside of him.
That sounds like something Robot
That's
Chicken
what you call
would
a teenage sexual turducken.
do. Yeah. So tell us about this EP you're working on.
Yeah, we wrote some songs, and we were like, you know what we should do with these songs? We should record them so people can hear them.
Yeah.
A lot of these songs were like, we had booked some shows, and we were like, crap, we have to have songs to play to perform for these people to fill out some time. And so we sat down and wrote, like 8 songs or so?
Probably too many. Too many songs is what it was. Yeah.
We're talking to people who have back catalogs that are.
Yeah, right.
How many albums do you have, Luke Ski?
I forgot these guys are actually good at what we do.
We sat down.
Is it that we're good, or is it just that we've been doing it since the mid-90s?
Definitely both.
Yeah, we don't know when to quit is the problem.
Yeah, we quit all the time. That's our big thing. That's why we have an EP instead of an album. It's because we get winded easily.
Yeah, it's true. We've actually done this before too. We recorded an entire album one time that no one's ever heard.
Yep. And
Really?
then my dog knocked over the external hard drive that it was on, and so it's probably gone forever now.
Ooh.
It's definitely gone.
Oh, that sucks. Online backups, they're your friend.
Yes. Yep. I'm
The
not
cloud.
I'm not smart at all. But yeah, we're in the middle of recording this EP. We've gotten a few tracks done. Jean-Claude Trans Am being one of them. I think we're gonna have 8 songs,
Something like that. Yeah.
somewhere in that neighborhood.
To be determined. We got to figure out which ones suck after we record them and then not release those ones.
We basically
That's good for business.
we get together like on weeknights after we tuck our kids in bed. We sneak off and record in each other's basements, and that's how we're getting it done.
Yeah.
Little bit at a time.
That's how you got to do it. You got
That's
to
how
work.
you eat the elephant.
That's
Got to
right.
work around the kids' sleeping schedule. I've been there.
Yeah. It's not awesome.
No. My kids are older now, so I don't care about their sleep schedule anymore. But
Oh, to be where you are.
Someday.
Someday they'll grow up and leave us alone.
Yeah, we're hoping to release the EP hopefully by the end of summer. It's TBD at this point, but we will be sprinkling out more tracks as we get them done. We do have some shows booked coming up here in the summertime to kind of test drive our new format that we have. As we mentioned, we've got Chris, who is our new 4th member, kind of playing backup guitar for us. So that we can incorporate some more synth elements. Shout out to Worm Quartet, big inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to see Shoebox play his guitar live, which I know you guys have several times. But I had secretly been wanting to incorporate guitar in our band before we got to see Worm Quartet. But once we got to see Worm Quartet, I was like, we got to make it happen. Just got to find another guitar guy. So here we are.
cool. I'm glad you were able to figure that out.
Us too.
So
Yeah.
you also performed this song at FuMPFest last year.
We did.
And it's on the FuMPFest 2023 live compilation. So if you would like to hear the live version of this song from FuMPFest last year, go to FuMPFest.com and pick up the 2023 2 CD compilation. Live.
Nice
from
plug.
FuMPFest.
Yeah. There's an Easter egg in that song too. If you listen to the first 5 or so seconds of it, there's something going crazy with our drummer's drums, and he's playing with one hand and just desperately trying to keep up with everything before he gets it all back together. So if being sounds weird, you know why. It's like you were in the room.
There's also a slight likelihood that now that we've committed the lyrics to recording, we go back and listen to live versions of us playing it before. Sometimes I say different stuff because I forget what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ryan routinely free associates new lyrics on stage, and I, as the harmony vocalist, have got to go with it on the spot. It's very frightening every single time we perform.
I can
This
see that.
requires intense eye contact.
That's right.
Cue cards.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We should get cue cards.
We should.
We're getting a 5th member, the cue card guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the mighty Boss Tones had that one guy that just skanked in the background. We'll have a cue card guy.
Hey, the first time I saw LL Cool J live, he had a guy standing on stage holding a radio, like a big giant boombox, and that's all that dude did was just stood there holding the radio.
I want to know how much that guy got paid.
I want to know too.
Probably not a lot. This was early in LL's career, so this was like right when his first album came out.
This is still his bucket hat era?
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember Public Enemy had the S1Ws?
Yes,
Yeah, the what were they? That stood for Security of the First World.
I believe so.
And
Yeah.
it was just like a bunch of guys in like kind of weird camo like looking, military outfits that just kind of marched around stage and like looked like they were super important and stuff. Yeah. Like, how did those guys file their taxes? What did they list their job as? Well, I pretend to be, in a military that's protecting Flavor Flav from something.
I'm protecting Flavor Flav from VH1. Yeah.
In my first band, when I was playing to rooms of like all of 9 or 10 people, we had 2 friends of ours, 2 girls who decided they were our backup dancers. And I thought it was like a joke. But then they got on stage and they stayed on stage and danced the entire set. And they did that for like a year straight.
Wow.
Of shows. It was amazing. I love them very much. It was not what I expected to happen. And we were not dance music remotely. It was just all not very good rock and roll, but man, they were dedicated. I wish I could have paid them.
Did they have like choreography for all your songs?
No, man, they were making it up on the fly.
Just making it up? Okay.
There was no figuring it out. It was just happening, and I had to keep singing the songs and hope that nothing weird was going on behind me.
It was definitely improv hip-hop dancing.
Because I've had a couple of our belly dance friends do routines to some of my songs, which is always fun. But I've never had anyone just decide they were a backup dancer and come on stage. That's a new one.
It happened, man.
Oh, that's great. So do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
You can tell that we're super professional.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, as we're releasing tracks, we'll make sure we're posting to the FuMP. But you can also find all of our music videos, anything that we're working on, at TobyDanger.com. And there's lots of cool merchandise with all of our cool logos. I think we even have things like we got socks over there.
Socks.
Obviously, we've got shirts. I think there is a golf cart that you can get.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Tampons.
Yeah. They have a lightning bolt on them. And it says electrify the night.
Bet you that's a hot seller.
Tampons work.
Yeah, I'm not sure. My mom always just wore diapers.
All right, so we're going to move on to news and the second song. Are you guys going to stick around or are you taking off?
We can hang out.
Yeah, if you'll have us.
All right, sure.
Let us know when we annoy you.
All right, let's do some news.
This is the FuMP.
Ultra-Gator, legend of the South. Ultra-Gator, sharp fangs in his mouth. Ultra-Gator, springs a piercing call. Ultra-Gator, he could destroy.
It's inconceivable.
Use some mixer in my booze. They keep on giving me a little 7-Up.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Tip me over and my change falls out. My spout is connected to all of my pockets, my articulations, and all of my sockets. Hey there, Mr. Macchiato Face. You got a coffee mouth and you're a big disgrace. I grind up the beans.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, the Tom Lehrer and Napoleon XIV releases from Needlejuice Records are now finally shipping on vinyl. The conducted Tom Lehrer compiles all of orchestral recordings Tom did during his career, including the smash hits Poisoning Pigeons in the Park and the Masochism Tango, plus the educational songs he did for the Electric Company and the unreleased song Trees. For Napoleon XIV, this is a re-release of his 1966 debut album, They're Coming to Take Me Away, Haha, with bonus tracks, plus the brand new album For God's Sake, Stop the Feces. Formerly a lost album, the collection compiles Jerry Samuel's transgressive experimental follow-up record, along with a whole collection of songs Jerry wrote throughout the rest of his life. Both of these are now available at needlejuicerecords.com. And as I mentioned, the FuMPFest 2023 compilation is also now available at FuMPFest.com and thefump.com. Please pick up a copy. All of the proceeds for that album go directly towards supporting FuMPFest. All right, that's all I got for news. You guys got anything before tour dates?
I don't got anything.
Okay. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Wednesdays online, Bill Larkin, although that will be changing to Tuesdays. On the 10th online, Carla Ulbrich. The 10th and 11th in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 12th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 24th in Buffalo, New York, Worm Quartet. And on the 26th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. And speaking of the Consortium of Genius, I know he was on the show last week and we wished him a happy birthday last week, but the 11th is Dr. Milo T. Pinkerton III's birthday, so happy birthday, Doctor, and best of luck taking over the world.
Happy birthday.
All right, so I guess Paul's not going to join us. Let's just give his song a listen. Here is Forgot To by Paul Wensley.
PJs on, my PJs on, by PJs I mean my phone, my comfortable phone, comfortable phone. As I stood by my bed, I thought, wait, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You never feel it when there's something you're forgetting. Something upsetting now. Was it on your to-do list? You forgot to check it. Or was it something that's just so automatic? Something emphatic. Something that makes you ecstatic. You forgot the jacket. dismay. Oh, was it a great day? The book tells me it's wrong. Says the devil's a-waiting. Devil will wait on. I guess I'll do when it comes. For now it's too much fun. Too much fun. You're not feeling when there's something you're forgetting. Something upsetting. Something upsetting now. Was it on your to-do list? You forgot to jug it. Or was it something that's just so automatic? Something emphatic. Something that makes you ecstatic. You forgot to jug it. When the day is long, when the pressure's on, don't you forget about your Johnson. You know the feeling when there's something you're forgetting. Something upsetting. Something upsetting now. Was it on your to-do list? Oh, you forgot to check it. Or was it something that's just so automatic? Something emphatic. Something that makes you ecstatic. You forgot to check it. You know the feeling when there's something you're forgetting. Something upsetting. Something upsetting now. Was it on your to-do list?
So this is the song Paul was supposed to post a couple of weeks ago when he posted Booby World, because he was trying to submit Booby World for consideration to be posted, except he already had this song approved, and he posted it in the wrong spot. And I didn't notice until the song went live. So he snuck a song through that we didn't approve, but it's fine. It would have been approved anyway. All right. Let's do feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. 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 You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
Wildcard in the chat is saying that the Twitch stream sounded okay and now it doesn't, and nothing happened. So it's the problem is on Twitch's end, or it's a poltergeist. It could definitely be a poltergeist. There's a poltergeist roller coaster I found out yesterday. It's
I didn't even know poltergeists like roller coasters.
Yeah, I'm a huge roller coaster freak, so I was like, it's I think it's in Six Flags in Texas. So anyway, all right, feedback. This one.
For who could ever learn to love a beast?
Father Beast wrote, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, continuum has been a word since the 1600s. It has been used in scientific circles to describe the space-time continuum since 1950. I knew the word back in the 1980s. I'm guessing that it wasn't in general use until popularized by Star Trek. I've had this problem with other words that aren't in general use. I would be playing Scrabble and put down a word, and everyone at the table would declare that it was not a word, so we got out the dictionary and it wasn't in there. That's why I got into the habit of having my friend's collegiate dictionary on hand. It had the words.
Well, that's cool.
And then Father Beast followed up with, Luke says that he transplanted the Voyager verse from his parody of a Coolio song and the Enterprise verse from a parody of a song by someone else. Are all these songs in a similar meter or something that you can just take part of another song and rap it to a different beat? Is this the case like all those Christmas songs that can be sung to the tune of House of the Rising Sun? Or maybe how I have heard that any Emily Dickinson poem can be sung to the tune of the Yellow Rose of Texas?
Well, the Coolio song was Fantastic Voyage, and the song by Gorillaz is called Clint Eastwood. Both of those songs have much slower tempos than What's Up, Spock, and just because I wrote the original parody and I've been, performing it at that tempo for years, it was kind of easy for me to, just crank up the tempo on those verses, yeah.
Yeah, and up until a few years ago, pretty much all rap songs were written in 4/4 time, so you can basically pick and choose, put them all together, and it usually worked. People like to rap in 6/8 time now these days, and I don't like it, but whatever.
Waltz rapping.
And Father Beast followed up with, am I the only one that's a little skeeved out by the similarities of names between Khan Noonien Singh and Dr. Noonien Sung? I never made the connection, but yeah, they are similar sounding. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Khan Noonien Singh is Khan, as in Wrath of Khan from Star Trek 2. Khan! That Khan. And Dr. Noonien Sung is the robotics inventor who invented Commander Data from Next Generation. Also played by Brent
We could ask
Spiner.
them, but they might tell us it's Noonia business.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
Hey-o.
Yeah? Hey.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Bad.
There we go.
From YouTube, Eric Hamian wrote, What's Up, Spock was perfectly timed just ahead of this weekend. Live long and may the 4th be prosperous. Thank you, Eric. And A-Log!
Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, Thanks for answering my question. I had a feeling they were only called that because they supposedly don't fit the mold of what rap would be once gangster rap took over. And it's funny that the COG mentioned Milli Vanilli, since not only are they obviously industry plants, but they were only mocked in song once. The irony of it all is that it was an MC Scat Cat and was the only rapper that dissed them in Scat Strut. Now imagine getting dissed by a tune. That is how low you've sunk. Thank you, A-Log. And
I kind of get the feeling that there were a lot more people dissing Milli Vanilli, out there than...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about in song, but they were definitely the butt of jokes for a very long time. And I remember when Off the Deep End came out, Weird Al went on the Dr. Demento show to talk about it, and he was talking about the songs on the album, and he goes, and we have a Milli Vanilli parody, which I guess is redundant at this point.
I absolutely want for some ice cream man somewhere in the world to have a flavor called Milli Vanilli.
Ooh. That sounds like something that Ben and Jerry's would do.
It does. And they should. Ben and Jerry's, get on it.
They should, yeah. They have mint chocolate Chance, which is Chance the Rapper flavor. It's actually really good.
The Milli Vanilli Ben and Jerry's flavor would actually be Breyer's ice cream put into a Ben and Jerry's container.
Nice. All right. Dizman of Dead by 28 wrote, It's quite possible that in the 90s that the government pushed gangster rap because hip-hop was getting too smart and inspirational. And then he says, Garrett Wang has a Harry Kim. Putting that in my Urban Dictionary and smoking it. Thank you, Dizman. All right, that's it for the feedback. And
teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Jefferson De Leon. That would be the artist formerly known as Powered by Satan. And Tuesday's song is by John Trentis. And this week's Spotify playlist topic is songs about people that won't shut up. which Luke suggested this afternoon. And 2 of the things you sent me are not on Spotify, so I wasn't able to
darn it.
end them. Yeah, the Monty Python sketch and the Frantic sketch, actually. I couldn't find any Frantic stuff on Spotify. There's another band called the Frantics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, none of the sketches I could find, unfortunately. But I did find enough stuff for a half an hour of music, so I'm good. All right. John Trentis is at johntrentis.com. Toby Danger, plug yourself one more time.
No, that's a joke. TobyDanger.com. We've got all kinds of good things over there, including videos and music and merchandise.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and look, it's Toby Danger again. Look.
Hey, it's Toby Danger. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say...